Hey guys, welcome to Hands episode 6. So I really wanted to come back from vacation and hit you all with a What the Fill episode where we incorporated ghost notes into a couple different fills. I had it planned out and I was gonna film it, but then I thought to myself, you know what, before I do that, let's get everybody caught up to speed on what ghost notes are. So that's what this lesson video is about. I'm gonna give you an introduction to the world of ghosting notes, what that means, what it looks like. And you're gonna walk away from this video being able to play a few different patterns that have ghost notes incorporated into them. And you will see a follow-up on my What the Fill series, where we take those ghost notes to the next level and put them inside some relatively complicated, but for sure really fun fills. Now, just before I go any further, I wanna leave a huge thank you to all of the incredible individuals that support me on Patreon and really help to make lesson videos like the one you're watching possible. So thank you to all of my supporters. Now, in the intro of this video, you watched me performing a groove from one of my covers where I was playing on the snare drum, but at times I was playing very softly, very lightly. That form of dynamic playing we call ghost notes. The reason why we call that is simply because it's so soft, it's like it's the ghost of what could have been a note. This is a very expressive form of dynamic playing and really brings grooves to life, as you can kind of tell from that first clip that I played. Now, without further ado, let's get you sort of working inside of dynamics as a warm-up. I'm gonna take you through two different basic rudiments that a lot of you probably already know. The first is gonna be a 4-stroke roll where we go right, 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 left, 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 left. And the second is gonna be a paradiddle. Right, left, right, left, left, left. What we're gonna do here is the majority of the rudiment we're going to be playing in the lowest level of dynamic. So like piano, or if we're talking velocity inside of a DAW, closer to 1. Very quiet, very soft, in control. And also making sure to consistently stay in time. And then I'm going to take you through 4 variations of each of those rudiments. We're going to start with that 4-stroke roll. And the first variation is going to be placing an accent on the downbeat. So it's going to be on 1. And then we're going to move right after that into placing the accent on E. And then we're going to move it to and then we're going to conclude by putting it on A. Last thing I'll say before we get into that is I have a very extensive lesson taking you through basic single stroke rudiments and a whole different set of variations on this concept. I also break down what it means to accent and accenting using rim shots. So the link to that's in the description below. Without further ado, here we go with exercise 1. We're gonna perform a 4-stroke roll, moving the accent all the way through all of the 16th notes. Here we go with that now. Cool, so if you struggle with that concept at 110 beats per minute, then just take it onto yourself and move it through different tempos and try to work your way up to 110 and then try and surpass that. Maybe get up to 130, 140, 150, best you can, sort of as fast as you can push yourself at that. And you really start to notice that your dynamic ability and the ability to move inside of different dynamics is gonna improve. Moving on from there, we're gonna go into the exact same thing we just did, except we're changing the sticking, but we're leaving the accent placements the same. The sticking this time around is gonna be a paradiddle. That's just right, left, left, left. So here we go with exercise 2, paradiddle, moving the accent through the 16th notes. Perform for you now. Okay, fantastic. So now we're warmed up. I've taken you through 2 different basic rudiments, and we've performed accents and maintained quiet, sort of almost, I guess you could call ghost notes in between the accents for both of those rudiments. Now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put ghost notes inside of 3 separate grooves. The first groove looks like this. Now that you've seen it, let's get into playing it. I'm gonna take you through 2 different tempos. The first one we're gonna hit is gonna be 60 beats per minute. The second one is gonna be 120. When we're at 60 beats per minute, the important thing, even for the more experienced players that could probably play this right off the bat at 120, even for you guys, the important part of this exercise is to make sure that you're playing this slow and in control. Focus on bouncing the stick off the head, keeping proper posture, form, and staying in time to that click, even at a slow tempo like 60 beats per minute. Then we're gonna move up to 120 after that. So here we go with exercise 3, the first lick where we're using ghost notes. Perform for you now. Perfect, so I hope you got that down. I hope you enjoy that lick, and I hope you can use it in maybe some of your own playing. Now let's move on. The next groove that we're going to be incorporating ghost notes into is exercise 4, and it looks like this. So just as I said with exercise 3, even when it's slow, maintain in control, in time, quiet, consistent strokes for those ghost notes, and then make sure everything else is nice and locked into that click as well. Now let's get into it. Here is exercise 4, perform for you now. Coming off of exercise 4, you might have noticed that I used a phrasing. Typical phrases are going to be groups of 2, maybe sometimes 4, but we phrased those 2 bars. So that means that not both bars were exactly the same. We're going to continue that concept into exercise 5, the final exercise for this lesson on ghost notes. And here's what that guy looks like right now. Now that you've seen it, let's get into playing it. This one definitely going to challenge you and is extraordinarily fun, especially when we approach those higher tempos like 120 and up. So, without further ado, the final exercise here in Hands episode 6, your introduction to ghost notes, performed for you right now. Perfect, so we're at the end of the video. Thank you so much for checking out hands episode 6. I hope you got these exercises down, and I hope you are starting to get a better grasp on ghost notes and how to use them inside of different fills. There are thousands of variations you can use ghost notes inside of, and this will be a concept that comes up again. I have a lot of particular favorite licks that we did not cover here that I will be bringing up that include ghost notes, especially some of the breakdown variations you can pull off with this concept. There's a lot of fun playing to uncover here. And the next lesson video using ghost notes will be the next What the Fill, where I incorporate some ghost notes into some actual fills. We can kind of pair these patterns along with those fills and get you learning those as well. I want to conclude by saying a huge thank you to all of my incredible patrons. You guys make these videos possible, and I could not do it without your support. If you enjoyed this video and you enjoy my lesson videos, maybe consider supporting me on Patreon. You can check out my merch link in the description below. I have a recently updated merch store with lots of new products for you to check out. If you want to connect with me further, you can do so at any of my social media pages. You can find links to those on the screen right now, as well as in the description below. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and I will see you guys all very soon with something new.